Good evening to all the masters and welcome to all the divine souls here. And welcome to the Awakening Saturday session, week 7, February 14th, 2026, and a day before Mahashivaratri. And this session is not a coincidence or not a plan, it's a true divine blessings of Mahadev. So let's start with all his grace upon us, okay? And let's begin with the prayer. Om Namah Shivaya Shantaya Neelakantaya Shambhave Girijardanga Dehaya Mahadevaya Mangalam. So, salutations to the Shiva, the embodiment of peace, the blue-throated one, the auspicious Lord, the one who shares his form with Mother Parvati. May Mahadev bless this gathering, this divine gathering. And so, let's begin with the session, masters. So let us together awaken the Shiva consciousness within. So Mahashivaratri. So Mahashivaratri is not just a festival, but a very powerful night, and it's our life. So it falls on the darkest night of the whole year. It falls in Krishna Paksha in Maghamasam, the 14th night of the waning moon, just before Amavasya, the new moon. So when the moon is at its smallest visible phase and lunar influence is comparatively calmer, so our emotions, which are also fluid in nature, subtly respond to. So a calmer lunar phase can mean a calmer mind. So supporting greater mental stillness and focusing inward. For example, on a full moon day, or a full moon night, some people feel more emotional or restless, right? So on darker nights, many feel quieter and more inward, just like the ocean tides respond to the moon. So during this period, the Earth's axial tilt in the northern hemisphere marks a deep divine upsurge of energies. So the yogic science associated with Shiva explains that the human system contains energy channels, which we call the nadis. And on this night, there is a natural tendency for prana to move upward. So when we remain awake and sit with a straight, with our back straight and erect, the vertical spine, energy is said to flow through Sushumna, leaving the Ida and Pingala, so encouraging an inner elevation of consciousness. So Vayu Purana says that who chants the sacred names of Shiva and meditates on him during Mahashivaratri destroys all his sins and directly experiences the presence of Lord Shiva. So Mahashivaratri is a night of cosmic awareness where individual consciousness merges with the universal consciousness. So that is the reason our older people say like Janma Koka Shivaratri. At least in the whole life, if you do one Shivaratri, that brings you the cosmic awareness, right? So that brings the individual consciousness merging to universal consciousness. So for example, in deep winter, we feel slow and inactive, right? So as spring approaches, we feel naturally more energetic and motivated. So just as plants slowly rise after winter, our biology also shifts with sunlight exposure. This transition supports renewal and upward movement. So Mahashivaratri is an auspicious day where Shiva and Shakti, they got married. So Adi Shakti, Parvati Mata, is a Kundalini in our system, residing at Muladhara, where at the tip of the spine of at the bottom, right, the root chakra. So whereas Shiva is the consciousness at Sahasrara. So awakening happens when Shakti meets Shiva. It needs lot of sadhana to connect the lowest to the highest, and it needs a lot of purification. So Shiva is always impressed with purity in bhavana. So if you have the purity in your thought, in your words, in your actions, Shiva is impressed, and he is the Bola Shankara. He's anywhere impressed. So once you are purified, Shiva is available. But Sati Devi, who was like wife of Shiva, um, so, like there was like Daksha Prajapati, there was a yagna where he insulted Shiva, and where Sati Devi felt like, born to Daksha Prajapati, I don't want this body, and she burned herself, right? So, after that, again to reach Shiva, again to marry Shiva, she incarnated as Mata Parvati, but where she went to do like lot of penance to clear all her emotions, to make herself pure. She did a lot of penance, and she knows how hard she worked to attain Shiva again. Though she was a wife before, but again to become a wife in this life, she attained lot of penance. No, then Shiva. Then after marriage, like Parvati was asking Shiva, for me only, it took these many things to do, like these much lot srama I have done for you to attain. So however the common people, so she asked a boon, like she asked Shiva a boon, like can you please show mercy on the people. So, and then Shiva promised to Mata Parvati that he will descend on the earth planet on Mahashivaratri for all his devotees, and will accept even with their impurities. So, tomorrow, the Mahashivaratri is the day where Shiva will descend to the earth for all of his devotees and will accept them with impurities. So this is the boon that Mata Parvati, on behalf of all of us, she asked for Shiva, and he agreed for that. So that auspicious is Mahashivaratri. So we have incarnated lives and lives to cleanse all the karmas, and incarnating as a human is a lot of things. So please, we should have an awareness, like do not waste this life, right? Do not waste this life, and try to get awakened in this life. That is the reason why we follow so many rituals in Mahashivaratri. So the sages, the rishis, the maharishis and all, they have organized such kind of rituals to know how sweet it is, to know the taste of it. So once we taste it and once we realize it, we don't leave it again, right? So they have organized in such a way, like for us to know all these things. So okay, let's know like who is Shiva. We all know like Shiva is Sarvantaryami, everything, every being, every species, every Atma. There is Paramatma, which is Shiva. So Shiva is Nirguna and Shiva is Saguna. So Nirguna is form and Saguna is formless, right? Shiva is invisible. So as ultimate consciousness, that is Nirguna, that formless, right? And Shiva is visible in forms like Linga. So symbols like Nataraja, nature meditated from Saguna, right? So Purnamidam, Purnamidam, Sunyamidam, Sunyamidam means Shiva is both Purna, the full, and Shunya, the empty. He's full because consciousness is infinite, just like ocean as consciousness. Waves are events, thoughts are forms in life. So, and Sunyamidam means Shiva is empty. He's beyond all forms and limitations. And you cannot see air, yet it touches everything and is in everything. So everything is Shiva. Maya makes me feel I am separate, right? But and Puranas like Veda Vyasa composed 18 Puranas like several centuries ago. So we'll take the pranam from there, right? The truth from there, like how Shiva came, like how he was, is he born or from where did he come, or what is the history and all, right? So Shiva Purana, so this was written by legendary sage Veda Vyasa several centuries ago. He says that Swayambhu Paramatma Shivaha means Shiva is self-manifested supreme consciousness. He has no parents, no birth, and no death. No death. So Linga Purana also says So that is also another Purana. Linga Purana says that before Brahma, the creation, and Vishnu, the preservation, there existed only infinite formless consciousness, that is Shiva Tattva. So this is why Shiva is called Mahakala. So he's beyond the time, like past, present, future. Adi Deva, he's the first divine. And Sanatana, he is the eternal one. So it is the sacred night when Shiva manifested as an infinite pillar of light, or the night of divine union, Shiva Shakti. They perform Kalyanam, right, on Mahashivaratri. So this is the reason. So, like Bhruga Maharshi, he cursed Shiva. Like once he visited Shiva. So Shiva was like in doing some meditation, and when Brugha came, he didn't notice. After a while he noticed, but he was in meditation. So getting like Brugha got anger on him, on Shiva, and he cursed like, you will be worshipped only in the form of linga. So from that's when he converted to linga. So Shiva translated all the movement within himself and became absolute still. So he is the timeless awareness present before creation, Adi Antarahitudu, the one without beginning or the end. So Shiva has no beginning and no end. So he existed before creation. So he's beyond form, yet takes form for devotees. He's both terrifying the Rudra and infinitely compassionate the Shankara. So he emerged on his own, eternal, and Shiva is self-born, and he is the Lord for all. Right? So even the linga form was chosen. We feel like it was chosen to make Shiva accessible to all the devotees, right? We worship linga, we do abhisheka, few lingas, right? So Swayambhu lingas and all, we can do abhisheka, right? So Nityo Nityeshwara Shiva Swayambhu Sarveshwaraha. So Shiva, the eternal Lord, is self-existent, and he is the master of all. He is beyond the time. And even Rigveda says, Namo Rudraya Mahate Namah Sarvaya Cha. So it says like salutations to Rudra, the great one who removes suffering and grants healing. So Rudra is described as both destroyer of negativity and protector of devotees. So in Shiva Purana and Linga Purana, finally Shiva is described as Adi Yogi. He's the first yogi. He's Mahadeva, the great god. He is Ardhanarishvara, the unity of masculine and feminine energies, and he is described as Nataraja, the cosmic dancer. He also performs the 5 cosmic acts: the Srishti, the Sthiti, the Samhara. The Srishti is the creation, Sthiti is sustenance, Samhara is the dissolution, and Tirobhava is the wheeling, and Anugraha is the create consciously, set new intentions. So sustain effort. So dissolve negativity. Learn from challenges. Receive grace. All these things. So Shiva and Trimurti is a concept like Brahma the creator, Vishnu the preserver, Shiva the destroyer. Destroyer in the sense, destroyer of all the sins, destroyer of the ego, destroyer of the karma, right? So he is the transformer who liberates the souls. Shiva as the supreme. Even the Nirvana Shatakam says like, I am the Shiva, I am the pure consciousness, right? So this teaches is that like Shiva is not separate from us. He is the inner self. He is the Atma. Shiva as Nitya, Anadi, without beginning, right? So he existed before the creation of the universe. He will remain after the dissolution, even after the Mahapralayam. So in essence, overall, Shiva is timeless consciousness. So he's not bound by years, centuries, or yugas. And Vayu Purana and Skanda Purana refer Shiva as Ananta, infinite. So some scriptures also describe that he has existed for millions of Brahma years. So it is like inconceivably vast in human terms. For example, 1 day of Brahma is 4.32 billion human years. And He has existed for millions of Brahma years. One day of Brahma is 4.32 billion human years. He existed millions of Brahma years. So Shiva has existed for countless such cycles. So Shiva has no age, he is eternal, beyond birth, beyond death, and beyond the cycles of universe. And Bhagavad Gita says like Aham Atma Gudakesha Sarva Bhuta Shayastitaha Aham Adi cha Madhyam cha Bhutanamanta Evacha. So he says like I am the self. So I am the dwelling in the hearts of all beings. So Shiva and Krishna, everything is in Shiva, right? Parvati, Shakti, everything is in Shiva. So Shiva says like, I am the beginning, the middle and end of all the creations. So he's not just a deity, but the innermost consciousness is every living being. So everything comes from him, everything exists because of him, and ultimately everything returns to him. So this is a perfect illustration of infinite consciousness. He is full, limitless, and beyond the forms. So let's see about the Shiva and inner transformation. This is very important to us. Okay. Shiva is not only the cosmic consciousness beyond the time, birth, and death, but also is the awareness within us. That is the Shiva, and that is the inner transformation when we experience the awareness within us. So, by meditating on Shiva or awakening Shiva consciousness, we dissolve ignorance. Let's talk with an example, okay? So you can clearly understand. So if you have a jealous on your friend's success, so your ignorance is like, why am I not as good as them, right? So but true thing is like reflect on your own journey and your inner strength, then you will see the success as a learning light, not like a threat or not like a fear, right? So this transformation of jealousy dissolves, and there appears the inspiration and the gratitude. So this is the awareness that you feel, which is the Shiva Tattva. That means release attachments and experience your inner stillness. Like just as Shiva embodies the balance of Rudra's power and Shankara's compassion, right? So we too can transform fear into courage, restlessness into clarity, and the limitations to freedom. So that's the Mahashivaratri night symbolizes this inner awakening, the opportunity to merge with the timeless, the opportunity that the formless self will realize our true nature. And another example. So if you're stuck in traffic, that happens all the time, right? Most of the time. So if you get angry in the traffic, what is the ignorance is you feel like on ignorance you feel like this is unfair. Everyone is against me. Through practice, what you have to do is like take a few deep breaths, observe your anger, and remind yourself, stay calm, stay witness your thoughts, witness the thing happening inside you. You tell yourself, I am the witness of this moment, not the ego. What happens? The transformation is the frustration melts away, the calmness emerges. So that is the transformation, right? So that is Shiva Tattva. That is Shiva within you. That is awakening Shiva in you, Shiva consciousness within you. And so there's scriptural wisdom and science behind practices. The Shiva represents the supreme consciousness, the Parabrahma. So worship of Shiva is not just devotion; it is a way to awaken the inner self. And there are like 5 namas in Kali Yuga. When you chant those 5 namas, no sin will touch you, right? So let me tell what are those. Shiva, Shankara, Rudresha, Neelakanta, Trilochana. These are the 5. And the powerful mantra, the Panchakshari mantra is the Om Namah Shivaya. So mantra means sound, which leads to vibration, which leads to Hindu, which leads to silence, and that leads to Shiva. And on Mahashivaratri, we have three bindus where the immense energy is focused. One is at 12, midnight 12 a.m., and 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. These are the three bindus where the immense energy is focused on the planet on these timings on the Mahashivaratri. Okay, so try to a half an hour before and after, like total 1 hour, the time frame, like each and every bindu. Try to meditate, and that's you'll have a lot of transformation that happens to you, and your whole life changes. Okay, and since Shiva, he himself promised that he will come to us, right? So he will descend to earth for devotees, even with impurities. He will hold our hand. So that is the time we need to awake for that. So every syllable, right? Om Nama Shivaya, the three syllables. So every syllable vibrates with Shiva Tattva, the purifying mind, the speech, and the heart. It aligns individual consciousness with the cosmic consciousness. So, chanting creates vibrations in the nervous system, it calms all the stress, and it focuses and it stimulates your parasympathetic response, the nervous system. So, brain scan shows like reduced anxiety, better clarity, and emotional balance with repeated mantra practice. So, and Mrutyunjaya mantra. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrutyurmukshiyam Amrutat. It's like Trayambakam. It's like past, present, future. The three all the past, present, future, and the three gunas, the Tama, Rajas, Sattva gunas, and the Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, and waking, dream, sleep. You be say like Swapna, Jagruti, Shushupti. So this mantra is not like to extend our age. It is actual meaning of this mantra is the ripeness means the spiritual awaken and mature, not age. Remove all the fears of death from my heart. Till then, establish me in the zone of fearlessness. So don't make me die until I am fully ripe, until I am fully awakened internally, until the awakening is possible, because awakening is possible only through human incarnation, right? So that is the way we take lives and lives, right? So if you do, after taking the human incarnation, and if you do not try for your awakening, then what is the purpose of this human incarnation, this life? We shouldn't waste, because this is very valuable, right? So human incarnation should not be wasted. It's such a valuable, it's such a it's so important, right? So, but instead of focusing on this awakening thing and all, we are just entangled in the materialistic world, right? Which is unnecessary. We don't take anything while going. So, this is the Mahashivaratri day. Like, at least focus this day. So, your life will be changed. You will know the taste, and you will know how to lead your life in the future years, right? So, the other thing is the fasting upavasas on Mahashivaratri. So fasting symbolizes detachment from body cravings and focuses on spiritual awakening. So fasting triggers autophagy, you all know that. Cellular cleansing and improves mental clarity. So it happens like making meditation, inner awareness more effective. So instead of, if we keep on eating, we keep on cooking, all the time is wasted for cooking, cleaning, eating, and after eating we sleep, right? So tiredness, because the food we eat is also is not like yogic diet we take, we nicely cook with tastes and all. It really tires our bodies and all, right? So fasting, there are many ways, like if you are able to do the water fasting. Okay, and if you think like I need some energy that I can't sustain without food, then try to take juices the whole day and night. Try to take juices. If you think I need more, Then you may have fruits. These are the three types, like water. If you need some juices, okay, you can have juices. Second type. And third thing is like you can have some fruits, right? And if you think like there are few people like we take medicines, right? There are people like who take medicines, they need some food. So that you can take alpaharam, like millets and all, or java, those kind of things. Try to be on water diet, if not on juice. And okay, if not, at least try to eat one meal a day, like that, on that specific Mahashivaratri. So these are various types. So whichever is suitable to you, you may follow that. And the jagaranam is like staying awake all night, is symbolic of watchfulness of mind. So Mahashivaratri is called the night of awakening, where Shiva awakens the consciousness within. So science behind it is like extended meditation and wakefulness. So increase like chant Shiva mantra, Om Namah Shivaya, listen Shiva stories, the Purana stories, or listen Shiva songs, do some bhajana, or meditate. The more you can, more you meditate. So try to engage your whole night in devotion, but not watching by TVs, or not watching movies, not playing some games, not like that. Try to engage in devotion. So that's how you self-aware. So you will enhance the self-awareness and the intuitions within you. So Abhishekam, so like represents purifications. It is Abhishekam is like mostly you offer your arishad vargas, like kama, krodha, lobha, moha, madam, matsaram. So the lust and desire, the anger, the greed, the attachments, the pride and ego, all these arishad vargas you offer to Lord Shiva. He will take those impurities and give you the purities, right? So every seeker should recognize and overcome in spiritual practice, and meditation awakens inner Shiva, right? The timeless witness. So these are the things. So there's so many things, but 5 more minutes I'll take masters, not much more time. And so healing freedom is like Shiva Purana describe meditation on him heals, like meditating on Shiva heals the mental, emotional, spiritual wounds also. So for example, if you're so stressed and on a day with your work, 5 to 10 minutes focus on Shiva's light in your heart. So visualize the tension leaving your body. This calms your nervous system and promotes emotional healing. So the parasympathetic nervous system lowers the cortisol, the stress hormone, and enhances emotional resilience. So Shiva is a Mahakala, so represents freedom from cycle of birth and death. He awakens the soul to its true nature, right? So and gathering is more important. There are like 10 prachetas who were the sons of the king Prithu. So they decided to renounce worldly life. So they all they all are 10 great sages. They penance together, where Mahadeva was very much pleased because of their because of their unity, and he gave the boons and gave enlightenment. So Paramashiva, Paramatma, uh, is so he so much likes, like if there is a gathering. So if a group of people gather and meditate, he likes a lot. So this story shows the power of collective penance and devotion. So meditating together and focusing on Shiva consciousness, that amplifies the spiritual energy. So what we have in Mahavatar Foundation, like Rangnath sir is conducting these things and all, we are very thankful to him. So this is an opportunity for us to come collective together and do together the meditation and all, right? So there are few things, there are many things that we learn from Shiva. The selfless service, the Nilakanta, like Halahala, the Kalakuta, Visham, so deadly cosmic poison. So that emerged when Devas and Asuras, like they churn the ocean to obtain Amrita, right? So instead of nectar, first appeared the Halahalam. So that what actually is like very terrifying. It burn the heavens, destroy the earth, suffocate all the beings, threaten total cosmic dissolution, right? No one can handle it. So all began ran to Shiva for protection. So out of infinite compassion, with the great karuna, Shiva, he did not hesitate. He collected the poison in his palm and he drank it. But Lord Parvati, with the help of Lord Parvati, he was able to held that in his throat, because if he swallow again, there are other lokas that may suffocate, right? So he just put it on his throat. So that is why he's called Neelakanta. The poison remained in his neck. And you also know, like Daksha Prajapati, he represents very ego, pride, and social status on Shiva, but Shiva stays like pure consciousness. He remains like, right. So he's a Daksha Prajapati, powerful king, father of Sati, organized a great grand yagna. So he invited all gods. He insulted Shiva, but so from after that on, we knew like Daksha Prajapati head was cut, and a goat head was replaced for him, all that thing. So that is because one should not insult or criticize Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva, in the sense, anybody. Lord Shiva is in all the beings. So never insult or criticize anybody, because Lord Shiva is present in all, right? And so we also know, like Ganga descended to earth through grace of Mahashiva upon the intense penance of Bhagirathi. So Ganga Mata warned, like, if I fall directly from heavens, earth cannot withstand my force. Then Bhagirath prayed to Shiva uh, to receive her. So when Ganga descended, thinking she could sweep Shiva away with her force, Shiva calmly caught her in his jata. So he trapped her there, observing her power. Only when Bhagirath prayed again did Shiva gently release her as soft storm. That is the Ganga we had now, right? So, and the great thing is, like, from Shiva Parivar. So there's a lot of unity, lot of dharma, lot of humanity in Shiva's family. Natural enemies coexist peacefully. You see, like Alankara, like Shiva is having a snake, and Ganesha's Vahana is a rat, mouse. So those two are enemies, right? But they exist peacefully. And Parvati Mata's vehicle is like a tiger or a lion, and Nandishwara for Shiva, right? They're natural enemies, but they coexist peacefully. So, and even Kumara Swami's Vahanam is peacock. Peacock and snake, they're true natural enemies, but they coexist peacefully. So a true family is not about similarity, it is about their acceptance. So these are the great things that we learn from Shiva Parivaram and all. And Bola Shankara, he is available to all. And my experiences, let me share few experiences. So my experiences are like I actually thought, like, 4 years ago, I thought like to do 16 Somavara Vratams. My intention is like to do fasting the whole day, smarana with Shiva smarana and all. So what happened is, like uh, okay, I was thinking, but I was like so lazy when to start and all. So one time what happened is, we went to beach. Every time we go to beach, we go on Saturdays, on Friday night, Saturday and all. That day my husband took me, like that time he took on Sunday. So on Sunday we went to the beach, on Monday we went to the beach, on Tuesday we went to the beach. On Monday morning before sunrise, we went for the Samudra Snana and the dip in the ocean. And what happened suddenly struck in my mind. The intuition came like, why don't you start now? Then I felt very happy, and we had a dip in the ocean before sunrise, and we made like a sand shivalingam on the shore, and we prayed. I prayed. So it was like a lot of pleasure. The sunrays falling on me. It's like total divinity, like total nature talking with me, like that. I felt very like blessed. So I started that, and you don't believe, on 16th week of Shivaratri, um, And you know Pallavi, right? Pallavi and I went to Sri Sailam. She helped me to she took me there. So thank you, Pallavi. And that on 16th week, I didn't know that is the 16th week. On 16th week, I don't know. There's no plan to go to India. I don't know if I went to India to for my mother-in-law. So on 16th week, Lord Shiva, I had a darshan in Sri Sailam. That is on Monday and 16th week. 16th week Monday, I had a darshan on Sri Sailam Mallikarjuna Swami, and I felt after I coming home, I was like noting how many weeks I completed. Then that was the 16th week I realized. So I felt very happy, and that is how His grace upon us. He does lot of lot of miracles and all, and that is one thing. And another thing is like I was thinking like. I'm eating a lot of rice. So one day Shiva came in my dream and told me like stop eating rice. Then I told, oh no, this is my mind game. My mind is playing this game. This is not Shiva. Then I asked Shiva like, "Oh, okay, show me some proof like that you told this." Then what happened? The next day morning, the rice actually they turned into small insects, white color. It's just like rice, but the tips are little colored. So then I realized, okay, this is Mahash. Okay, I agree, and I'm so sorry like asking you to show me the proof. Then I realized that is another one. So there are so many things. And even when we went to Sri Sailam, even every plant, every pillar in the temple I touch, I feel like as if I'm touching Shivalingam and all. So all the vibrations and all the energies, they were so immense, and I'm so thankful to Lord Shiva and all the masters. And there are so many experiences. These are just few, and thank you all, masters.